Recording there. Let's get Instagram up. Instagram's getting going here too. Let me see, make sure I can get comments coming through here. You guys, thank you for being here. Let me check this out. Okay, that's rolling there. How is everyone? Instagram, what's going on? Facebook, how are you? Welcome to episode 192 of SF Live. My name's Ben Hartley with Style and Story Creative and Six Figure Photography. It is a scrub day for me today. That's for sure. We're just like, look, it was an early morning, but I am repping the Show It United hoodie. I'm going to be speaking at United in November. You guys should be there. It's so good. It's Instagram. United is so good. Not only is it an amazing group of photographers, presenters, all that good stuff, but it's also like in a resort, like in a spa. It's like incredible. Let me see here. I better pause the sync on Dropbox. I think it was giving us some lag. Ben, Steven, if you're watching, let me know if we got any lag going on. Anyhow, you guys should be there November here. Let me get you guys the dates for United. November 5th through the 8th of this year. I'll be one of the keynotes, and I can't wait. Please be there. You guys, thanks for showing up. SF Live is all about giving you guys value. It's all about how to help you guys grow your business in any way that I can. I've got the weekly podcast that I do, but then I like to drop in here on the daily and just kind of check in with you guys, see if I can help out in any way, shape, or form. That's really why I do this, especially because I know what it's like to try to build your business alone. It's really freaking hard. And so even just to have someone while you're chewing on some pizza, eating your lunch, to listen to hopefully light a fire under you guys. If I can do that in any way, then I'm stoked. So thanks for being here. Over the last couple of days, I've been talking about the beliefs that I have. Look, I've got so many beliefs in life, but really kind of turning this whole notion of six-figure photography, what's it like to be a six-figure photographer, on its head. What does it mean to make up someone who's running a successful business? Yesterday, I talked about one of my number one beliefs in life, that people are always more important. Like people are far more important than how much money you make. I love the way that Gary says it. What matters more than how much money you make is how you make your money. Couldn't believe more in that. And so I'm going to go down the list here. And number two, in one of my core beliefs in life, and I say this all the time on the podcast, but success starts with self-worth. Success starts with self-worth. And this is something that we wrestle with so much. Look, as an entrepreneur, sure, it's like going into this thing, so much of our value is tied to our number, is tied to how many bookings we have, is tied to our bank account. I get that. But then you tag on to it, the whole artist mentality, then you tag on to it, like the fact that this is a piece of us, this is your heart and soul when you go out there. Then also, it's a service industry. Like you're putting so much of yourself and your heart and your care, and then your art and your ideas and your thought process into this thing that it's just really hard. It's really hard to come into this thing with confidence at every level, because like we're people, we're humans, and we question that and we doubt it, and it's a challenge every day to go out there. And so look, I've spoken to literally thousands of photographers. I've spoken to thousands of photographers, and I'm always asking people, what's the biggest challenge you have? What's the biggest challenge you have in your business? What's the biggest challenge you have on a wedding day? What's the biggest challenge you have as a photographer, as an entrepreneur? And like a resounding amount of answers come back with confidence, come back with self-esteem, come back with, I just struggle to believe that I'm worth it. Look, my pictures are great, but I just struggle to believe that I can actually do this. I struggle to charge the rates that I need to charge in order to provide for my family. And I so resonate with that. I put together this whole video actually. Like this is something that I'm so deeply passionate about, and I want to keep learning and growing in. I put together a video on confidence. I'll drop it down in the links below. Instagram, I'm gonna make it maybe my profile link for you guys. But I put together a video on this. It's long, but I think it's worth it. But in the meantime, I think I'd like to just hit on a few key ones today. And so just the reality of like, I've got some little like nice Post-its here, but like you guys, there's an amazing book. If you struggle with this, could you go out and get this book? If you're not a reader, go get the audio version. But Mark Manson wrote a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. And one of the things that Mark Manson talks about is how we live in a culture of exceptionalism, where we're constantly being surrounded, bombarded, like with the most extremes of everything. Like the most beautiful people, the most like stunning wedding photographs you see on your newsfeed, they're like the best of the best of the best of the best. When you turn on the news, it's the scariest stories being told to you by the most gorgeous human beings, right? It's like we can't get away from this top 1% at all times. And so it's no wonder. And not only that, by the way, but it's like in your back pocket, it's constantly pinging and chiming at you. And so you pull out your phone and you just constantly see this stuff. It's no wonder that when we're surrounded with this type of exceptionalism 24/7, that we start to feel bad, about ourselves, that we wonder why we're not where so-and-so is. Like, and I just think it's so healthy to understand that it's just, that's not life. That's not real. The exceptionalism that you see isn't the reality. And if for a moment you there is that 1%er, right? That is just like maybe they're 20 years old and they just feel like they were the overnight success, whatever it is. That one person, like if they look like they got it all together, there's been so much work. I could probably promise there's been so much work that has gone into it, leading up to how they got to where they are today. But just, man, lower the bar, bring the expectations down on yourself. Don't put everything up on such a pedestal. The culture of exceptionalism is so damaging to your heart and your soul and your spirit. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? And so with that in mind, please be defensive. Be on guard in your mind, be on guard in your heart, and remind yourself it's not the reality. The reality is that we're all people. The reality is that we're all broken. The reality is that we all kind of suck. The reality is that we're all making it up as we go. Some people are better at faking it than others. Keep moving forward, right? Next up is this. Like your parents have been telling you this since you were 10. Surround yourself with better people. Get those assholes out of your life. That one friend that's always complaining to you and always nagging with you and is always helping you complain and is always validating the bullshit complaints that you have. Like, get them out. Like, put people in your life that are in a better place than you. Put people in your life that will feed into your mind, that will feed into your heart, that will feed into your marriage, feed into your business, feed into your soul. I think we're kind of complacent and lazy when it comes to taking a firm stand on who are the people that we surround ourselves with, because we don't want to offend. We don't want to step on toes. I want to encourage you guys to be so defensive of, if it can't be for yourself, be defensive of your family, be defensive of your son and your daughter, in regards to yourself for their sake, right? Be defensive of your business. Like, if you're a jerk, if you're going to bring me down, like, I won't have you be a part of my life. I value my relationship with my wife too much, to let somebody else mess with my mojo, mess with my shit, to come home, and bring that burden to them. Be defensive. Put amazing people in your life, you guys. If you want to elevate your self-worth, if you want to elevate your confidence, surround yourself with people who are going to pour into you and that you can in turn pour back into. Next up is this. Let me see. Maybe I grabbed too many here. There's this really crazy thing that happens. I think so often we focus on me, like my self-worth. How do I gain my confidence? How do I charge more money? How do I gain more confidence? How can I book more weddings, right? And it's all about me. It's all about the desperation of how do I elevate myself? This is, again, this really awesome thing that happens, you guys. When you start focusing on other people, when you turn it on its head, and instead of saying, how do I make more money? How do I gain more value? And instead start figuring out, how do you give it all away? When you turn it on its head and start providing more value to people as your primary goal in life, like that's where so much self-worth can come from, is when you stop trying to grasp it and take it and gain it and figure it out and just start trying to give back to people. Start focusing on giving to your leads, giving to your clients, giving to your friends, your family, to strangers. Like, think more about providing value to other people than how you're going to gain value yourself. It'll do leaps and bounds for actually obtaining more self-worth and more confidence in what you have, because you start to do something that you actually get to see the value in, right? You get to see it. Anyhow, two more things that I got here that I want to talk about today. Super practical one. We are the worst at this as photographers, and I so relate. I have to practice this so often, you guys. Learn and practice accepting compliments. Learn and practice to accept a compliment from your peers and from your friends and from your family, and learn to go into situations without the self-deprecating context to things. You know, like when you're like, I guess this poor bride hired me, like I don't know what it is, but we go into these things and we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot, and we belittle ourselves on social media, and we belittle ourselves in conversations all the time. And those little things, like, it chips away at your own armor. And so please, like, learn to accept a compliment. When someone says, Ben, that photograph you took was really awesome, don't do that thing that you want to do where you're like, it was easy when the couple was that gorgeous. Or don't do that thing where you're like, I just showed up on the day. Don't do the thing where you're like, really? I don't know. I mean, maybe it could be better. Don't do the thing where you're like, yeah, it only took me 6 years to finally get here. Or where you're like, yeah, if only I could book another one like this. No, stop that. Just say thank you. Thanks. I worked really hard on that. Thanks. Like, it's learn to accept the compliment. And the last one is this. Put in the work. Like practice. Show up every day. Like, I make these live videos for you guys. I'm on episode 192. Do you want to know how I've gained confidence to press live every day for you guys? Do you want to know how I've gained confidence in doing that? By doing it. By actually stepping out first and taking action. Too often, we wait to gain some sense of confidence before we step out and move, before we actually take the action. Turn it around. Step out first. Take the action first, because confidence comes from that. But you got to start. You got to practice. You got to put in the work. You got to try. You got to shoot. So many weddings. Pick up the phone and start talking to people. The first time, it's going to be scary. The second time, it's going to be scary. The third time, it's going to be scary. 30th, right? But you have to start somewhere. You got to put in the work. You're not just going to wake up one day and become something that you have not been becoming. Let me tell you that again. You will not wake up one day and become something that you have not been becoming, right? Put in the work, you guys. I'm going to drop a link to the rest of the video that I've got for you. Instagram, thanks for hanging out with me. I do these every day for you guys, Instagram. Look, tomorrow is Friday. We're going to see what happens on a Friday. Friday's a wild card. I got 3 beautiful children at home. We'll see if I can make another live video for you guys then. If not, I'll catch you guys on Monday. Thank you guys so much for being here. Look, if you're not a part of it, I've got a dope email that I send out to you guys on the weekly. Check this thing out. I really respect you guys, and I only try to give. Again, going back to giving value first. And so get on this thing. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it's worth it. Let me know if you actually experience value from this. I'd love to actually continue the conversation there as well. Anyhow, we'll see you guys tomorrow, if not Monday. Thanks. You guys mean the world to me. Instagram. I'm going to hang out with you guys Instagram for a minute long.